That was some serious fun out there, eh, Jimmy? Admit it, you couldn't have done it without me. I mean, the cannons on those Ares models. What's that, like a size 7? That is nuts. Absolutely insane. Raw power. Couldn't have put it better myself, mate. This has been an eventful IAE, to say the least. But thanks to Jimmy here, I've been reminded of why I started doing all of this in the first place. At the end of the day, it's all about the ships. So here are some highlights of Intergalactic Aerospace Expos, past and present. Haha! It's a pirate's night for me, here at the Drake Pavilion. Just don't tell Jan Dredge. Play, here we go. Oh, what's this do? Oh, holy shit. Now, what's with this front wheel axle? And the fixed maneuvering thrusters really come through the clutch. See what I mean?
Notice that my fucking streaming software is not bringing that through. That's a bit rude. Sitting here starting it and I was watching it myself and I realised that the streaming software decided that it didn't want to play the game. God, what a crappy day. Yeah, I'm just looking at this. The audio stream's bitrate is lower than it should be. Let's see if I can't get this to work, because this is a bit poo. Just a little bit poo. Maybe it doesn't want to. Oh, there we go. Alright, let's try this again.
Well, that was some serious fun out there, eh,
Fucking
Jimmy?
hell.
Admit it, you couldn't have done it without me. I mean, the cannons on those Ares models. What's that, like a size 7? That is nuts. Absolutely insane. Raw power. Couldn't have put it better myself, mate. This has been an eventful IAE, to say the least. But thanks to Jimmy here, I've been reminded of why I started doing all of this in the first place. At the end of the day, it's all about the ships. So here are some highlights of Intergalactic Aerospace Expos, past and present. Haha! It's a pirate's night for me, here at the Drake Pavilion. Just don't tell Jan Dredge. Play, here we go. Oh, what's this do? Oh, holy shit. Now, what's with this front wheel axle? And the fixed maneuvering thrusters really come through the clutch. See what I mean? And once you figure out the floaty stairs, the Car2 Arl absolutely sings in more ways than just Shan Opera. We've loaded up this Argo raft with several cases of Bondurant Vaisseau Blanc de Blanc Reserve. That's right, 2 crates of sparkling wine worth more than my penthouse in Castor Point. Ridiculous? Certainly. Now, I was always terrible at this. Nailed it!
I can't find the limit! Apology accepted!
Jimmy? You okay, lad? What's this?
Looking good, Jim.
How old are you in this?
Now go pose for a picture with your hero, Jack.
Wow.
Face me. Smile. Say Freelancer. Brilliant, look at that.
Damn it, Jimmy. That warms my heart. Makes me feel old as hell, but it warms my heart nonetheless. You're a good kid, Jimmy. You make me proud. Let's get out of here before they kick us out. Let's go and see what the hubbub's about over at the MISC Pavilion. Dare to fly. I think I still need to do some serious soul searching, Jimmy. There it is. The Odyssey. This ship is something else, huh? I mean, supposedly it basically becomes your own personal space station. Imagine just taking this thing out as far as you can, dropping anchor and just living. I mean, that's it, Jimmy. The Whitleys just got their hands on an Odyssey prototype. I'm sure they wouldn't mind if I borrowed it, for a little sabbatical someplace. I don't know, like the Pyro system. Yeah, or someplace like that. I mean, someplace where no one will bother me. I need to get my head straight before next season. If I even make it back, that is. Okay, everything is looking good. This is it.
I'll miss you too, Jimmy.
But don't wait up for me, mate.
Yes, the MISC Odyssey. That is what is new and exciting this fine day. It's also caused a lot of dispute, I suppose, would be the word. Namely because a lot of people are starting to compare it up front with the Karak, which is probably a little bit of an unfair comparison. I'll talk about that a little bit more later on. Since it's still in concept and we can only go off what's written and what's given to us, which isn't a whole lot, just preliminary numbers and all the rest of it. It's hard to make a educated assessment just yet, but when I come around to it, I shall do my best to discuss my thoughts on that particular vessel. So let's get into this persistent universes. Persistent until the next reset. I don't know why I enjoy MISC Day. I really do. MISC Day is something that's... I don't know, I find it fun. Which is really, really weird because they just do industrial ships. I suppose they do some races. I think they do one racing ship. Or one model, I should say, of racing ship. And I think they're the MISC starter ships, quote unquote. I think one of them can be done up as a fighter. I don't think it's supposed to be, but you can use it as a fighter if you absolutely have to. Or if you want to, spend the credits to overhaul all the system pieces so that it can support, proper weapons. Which is kind of funny. I don't actually know what the ship is supposed to be. Because I've only seen the original one, which was like a micro hauler. So I'm not actually sure if MISC released like a proper combat one as such. It'll be interesting. I'll see it today, I guess. Come on, game. Let me in! Alrighty, let's get a move on and hopefully not fall downstairs today. Like I did yesterday. I remember that window having like that diamond shape on it. Don't remember that at all. If anybody's nicked stuff from the medical bay again. It's always funny when you come down these stairs, you never know what you're gonna find. Medical trolleys, gurneys. What have we got?
Capsule now.
Come, capsule. Come to me. Meow. It's like the no bullshit trains. Train pulls up. You have what, 15 seconds. Get off, get on. Hopefully they'll watch that when the game releases proper, to make sure that there's enough time for people to get off and on without it turning into like a Black Friday fucking rampage. So since the talking point today will actually be downstairs, I believe, in the hollow room, I will start upstairs today.
We're celebrating them. Dare to fly.
I might see if... I imagine the Reliants will all be in a side hall, so I may start off with the Reliant. Zenith Hall. You know what would really go well? Elevator music. This game needs elevator music. Alrighty. So, as expected, the Reliants are in a side hall. What's over here? The Freelancers. So I think I will finish off in the main hall, which is this hall. I will start in Zenith Hall 2, and I will finish... then go to Zenith Hall 5. I assume that's what ZH5 is.
Tobin Expo Center would like to invite everyone to join in and help.
So I'll do the Reliance, then I'll do the Freelancers, then I'll do the Starfarer,
All your belongings and
Prospector, and their races.
Thanks.
And then I'll go downstairs for the other stuff. The Hull A, the Hull C, the Endeavour, and the Odyssey. I find it so funny, though, that an industrial company makes racing ships. That blows my mind.
Ready to learn more about the manufacturing
I have a suspicion that I may get one of those races. I'm not too interested in racing, but you never know. Maybe it'll be fun. Have to see when they get the racing stuff in. Alrighty, so these are the Reliants. These are Musashi's starters, quote unquote. So what do we got? Light freight, the Reliant Core. With the Reliant Core, MISC adds to its already impressive lineup of ships a smaller introductory class spacecraft. Utilizing advanced Xi'an designs, the Reliant features broad sleek wings, omnidirectional thrusters, and a fully articulated two-seat cockpit that supports horizontal and vertical flight modes. All of this combines with a larger carry capacity than many ships in its class, making the Core a natural choice for short-range haulers, all with the simple addition of a few optional components. This can-do ship can do anything you dream of, and yeah, I have a mate that plays this. He actually did take the time to yank out the components and replace them, and he says this ship is fantastic. So I've never flown one, so I don't know myself, but I have to take his word for it. So cargo bay, which is interesting because this ship is indeed supposed to fly, as they say, horizontally and vertically, so you can see the seats are actually on swivels. So hopefully someone doesn't have stinky feet, because otherwise the other bloke's going to be in for a bad day. So this is pretty much how most MISC HUDs are. Most stuff just sort of folds down from up above. Very few MISC ships that I've seen at the very least have HUD components that are down the bottom. So everything dangles, which I admit is a bit odd at times, and it is a bit frustrating at times, but yeah. So let's have a look and see what the co-pilot has to play with, if anything. They've got sticks, so they can indeed co-pilot, and both of the turrets are remotes, which is particularly dodgy. Two independent remote turrets when there's only two people. Makes things a bit interesting. Those are the swivelly thrusters. But I'm not... guns. Guns, a couple of missiles. That looks to be about it on the agenda, though. So yeah, I do find that very odd that these two turrets on the outsides are both independently controlled remote turrets, and there's only two people in the ship. So yeah, I don't know how I personally feel about that. I've never flown one of these, so I can only speak from what I can see and what I've been told, but yeah, that's a bit funny. I imagine they're all similar to that, because I know that they all have... Oh, that one doesn't have guns on the outside. MISC Reliant Core. This is the light fighter. With humanity ever expanding throughout the universe, the need for a versatile lightweight fighter has expanded with it. Easy to maintain with a rugged construction, the Reliant Core makes for an ideal choice for frontier and outpost defending thanks to its custom high-yield power plant, stronger shields, and an additional weapon mounts. Why can I interact with that NPC? So, I don't know where they say the additional weapon mounts are. Because I can't see them. I don't actually know what this is. But you can see very clearly that there's no additional weapon mounts. Same missile. Well, actually, they might be the exact same missiles. Underslung guns. These, I imagine, are going to be, again, the 2 remote-controlled turrets. Which is ridiculous. Actually, I don't have any turret control here. Maybe they are all pilot controlled. They might be pilot controlled. Because the co-pilot does not... Oh, that's got beds. That's a locker. Gun rack. Storage. That's interesting. For a fighter to have beds. So I guess these are pilot controlled, which is good. I mean, it's better than the poor old Reliant Core that's got the fucking single controlled turrets that aren't, well, probably aren't linked, I should say. So this is an interesting ship, actually, just because of the fact that it's got beds. Obviously, it's got a little bit of storage space. Just here for whatever the fuck. Oh, shower. Does it have a shitter? It does. It's got a shitter. And the important thing for everybody when you're picking a quote-unquote starter is how much floor space the thing has and if you can actually get a box into the back. So even if it didn't have this little alcove boxes, the simple fact of the matter is it's got floor space. You can shove a box anywhere. Just walk over it, you know? So that makes for a very interesting little ship. Probably a very nauseating ship when you're actually turning it, but that's okay. We'll go for the yellow one next. Now, that's interesting, because there's definitely no gun there, but we can see a gun over here. So what have we got? Reporting. The Empire depends on the up to the second information, which is why reporters need to be able to go where the news is happening, wherever, whenever. Enter the Mako. All the flexibility and dependability of a MISC Reliant combined with state-of-the-art Cernan camera package to capture every moment as it happens with the clarity and accuracy that makes headlines. So yes, this is a news vessel, which has guns on it. I assume that's actually the camera. Yeah, that is definitely a camera. That's not a gun. Rightio. I actually completely forgot this ship even existed. I remember looking at it once and I didn't think anything of it. So, beds. Here is the seat. So this is our recording station. Yep, look at that power. Beautiful. I don't actually know if this works. And pilot and co-pilot. So I would imagine that this is the same as just a regular Reliant. Nope, we have a remote turret. What's the remote turret? God, I'm sideways. That is most definitely the camera. Co-pilot controls the camera. Pilot flies, co-pilot controls the camera, and this person... Who knows what this person does? So what do we got? Computers and a pooper. 2 beds for the 3 crew. I suppose this may just be like an editing thing, but I don't really know. But there you have it. If you want to be a journalist, this is the ship for you. I can't say much more than that. Hello, that one's got a camera on it too. Is this a special one? Nope. Light science ship. Reliant Sen. Magellan, Pierce, Croshaw, names that echo through history thanks to their adventurous spirit, a curious nature, and a reliable ship. The Reliant Sen is a versatile mobile science platform outfitted with long-range capabilities to take you further, longer, and the advanced Samos sensor suite. Perfect for the aspiring explorer who wants to whisper their name into the halls of history. So why this has a camera, I don't know. This is a very strange ship for a science ship. I had that ramp, I saw it. Where is that? Let me in. I saw it. Eh. I had it. I don't think I'm going to be able to get into it. Ramp access, yeah, good on you. Fucking ramp access, my bollocks. I mean, what do we got? I can have a quick goosey through here anyway, really. So this must be that science thing they were talking about. That looks like a fucking photocopier. 2 beds. Components. Nothing else looks too much out of place for the other Reliants. Just the addition of this computer thing. That's it. That's the only difference. Unfortunately, I can't get into it though. Which is about typical of this year's IAE. I haven't been able to get into too much this year without trouble. So yeah, even looking at it from this side, it's all very straightforward on the guts of it. They're all the same. Still weapons, very standard weapons on this. That's it. So those are the Reliants. Now, I don't know about that, but I know the Reliant, I'm fairly certain it was the Reliant Core, my mate said that he actually stripped the weapons off and put better weapons on it, and it was a really, really good ship. So that light freighter, that one over there. But I'm not sure how I feel about it, given that both of those turrets are remote and they're both controlled independently. It's a bit weird for me. It's a bit on the weird side. It's a bit on the disappointing side. I get they're on either end of the ship, but I mean, you know, when you've only got 2 people in the ship and you've got 2 remote turrets, I mean, that's a bit bullshit. All the chunky components. All guests need to be extra vigilant. Me forever getting fucking price alerts. Alright, I'm on the other side, finally. Okay, the Freelancers. So the Freelancers are your step up from your fucking starter ships. They're definitely not what I would call a starter ship. Some people maybe if they're desperate. But no, these are probably your first step up in the industrial chain. So we'll start off with this. This is one of the newer ones, the MIS. The Freelancer MIS is a limited edition militarized variant of the classic mercantile ship. Developed by the UAE, these were produced in very small quantity due to early payload incidents. This version sacrifices the majority of cargo space to make way for missiles. So, these guns on the side, they're all pilot controlled, and they are a staple on every ship. I believe every single Freelancer has those side turrets. So, there is a door there, but I'm not going to hop on that door. I'm going to go in the juicy end. Missiles. Missiles. Top turret. Actually, that, yeah. So. Just about all. I think all of them have this top turret as well. Which can be a bit janky to get into, I'm told. Because when I had my Freelancer, I had a lot of people complain about trying to get into the top turret. So this is not really as tight as I was expecting. I have never seen this ship in game. This is the first time I'm seeing this model in game because it was released somewhere through the year. I don't actually know where these other missiles are, because 8 missiles is not what I would call a lot. I mean, they are fairly large missiles for this size of ship, but what these are. They're on both sides, so I don't know what they are. What is this? This is nothing. So is that. What's going on? Minimal cargo bay. Or bay. Minimal cargo section. That looks like an engineering station to me, but I can't interact with it. That's the door on the side. So that's the other way in. Little mini bar thing. I want to be very specific when I say bar thing. Of course, the loo. Plenty of beds. 4 beds. And 4 seats. So let's turn the power on, and I have SFA controls on this. I don't know what the fuck this console's for. I'm going to run under the assumption that I'm not going to know what the fuck that one's for. And these are obviously captain and co-pilot. The one important thing I suppose to note is that the co-pilot doesn't have a stick. So I am gonna fucking straight up assume that the co-pilot just uses whatever's on the monitors. Because I don't think this has any remote turrets. This does not have remote turrets. So all the co-pilot has is system panels. I do admit, though, that this was not a ship I was particularly impressed with for a Freelancer. I thought it was very lackluster. Although, like I say, I don't know what that is. I don't even know where those are. They look like they're probably about there, you know? Unless that is a missile. No, it wouldn't be a missile bay door. I don't know. I'm trying to find out where, if anywhere, other missiles would be, but can't see anywhere. All I can see is the 8 on the side. Well, on the fins. So, yeah. Having seen this, this looks as much of a disappointment as I expected it to be, really. Oh well. We can't win them all, I suppose. Let's go to the chonky boy. This is the one I used to own. So this is the Freelancer Max, which is a medium freight. Freelancer variant with additional cargo capacity at the expense of weapons. The Freelancer Max variant sacrifices weaponry for an increased cargo capacity, making it ideal for equipment or raw material transport. So, as I said, they've all got these guns on the side. Side door, they've all got this side door, I believe. Can I open the ladder? Thank you. Bigger engines, as you see. So this ship is just basically fattened. This is why I can say it's disappointing. I mean, this is a cargo ship. It's got fucking 8 missiles. It's got 4 fucking big ones and 4 of these little boys. The back, however, is where it's at. She has a very wide bottom. Top turret as usual. But, yeah, she is quite rotund in the rear end. And then you've got this other little... I've never fucking known what this section's for in this ship. Because, you know... it's cargo bay on cargo bay, so I've never worked it out. Ship has the same facilities. Drinks and bogs. Another, what should probably be an engineering station, but isn't. 4 beds. This one has the same 4 seats in the cockpit. Now, the 4 seats in this cockpit do make a little more sense because, you know, well, maybe not 4, but, you know, one of them is exclusively comms. I don't know what the other one's for. Maybe just freeloader. But, yeah. Co-pilot seat, who controls the system power load. This random seat here for comms, pilot, and whatever the heck this person does. Sits there until they need to get in the turret, I guess? I don't know. Some of the cockpit setups are like really, really weird. Like, especially, like, I really want to point that out. I'll go back into the cockpit just to sort of explain myself. From a civilian aviation point of view, like, there's no stick on this side for the co-pilot. So the pilot, this seat, does all the driving, right? So to say that this is a quote-unquote co-pilot is probably not as accurate as probably should be. Because, I mean, what are you piloting? Piloting the systems. But it's not unusual to have, like, a navigator or an engineer. Or both in exceptionally large aircraft, but this isn't what I would call an exceptionally large aircraft. So, you know, to have a navigator, that's probably something the co-pilot should be taking care of. It's strange. And then I say, like I said, there's an engineer, so that makes sense, but yeah, the fourth seat's a bit weird. Where's the plaque for this one? Oh, over there. So, no huge shocks about this one. This is the Expedition. Fuel tanks. At least I believe those are extra fuel pods. I think that's what they're supposed to be anyway. The Freelancer DUR variant specializes in exploration, sacrificing 25% of the cargo of standard Freelancer for an enhanced jump drive, a more advanced scanner, and an expanded fuel tank. May seem like a bad call to some, but to those who value discovery over profit, will find the ship of their choice. Now, this has strangely exciting guns for an exploring ship, I will say that. There's your extra scanner, poking out the front, as you do. So the exciting guns. Well, that's actually probably the fuel. I don't know what that is then. Maybe more fuel. Anyway, same deal. 8 missiles, 2 aboard. Top gun. Skinny cargo bay. This is all the extra junk on the guts. So this little center part, which I keep saying I have no idea what it's for. Actually, it's not. This ship doesn't... Shippers just keeps giving. Anyway. So this is apparently that little cargo bay. I can never work out what it's for. I don't know. Ship is deceptively large on the inside. Same on the inside. Drink. Bogs and shower. I don't think you can get food out of any of this. So I think it's drink only. So you got to bring your own snacks. 4 beds. And standard cockpit, which we're all accustomed to. So, once again, nothing special about this boy except for how it's put together, which is all this shit. Yeah. And last but not least, which I kind of thought would have been in the middle because this is the bog standard. Medium freight, Freelancers are used as long-haul merchant ships by major corps, but they are just as frequently repurposed as dedicated exploration vessels, bonk, by independent captains who want to operate on the fringes of the galaxy. So, as usual, 8 missiles, side guns, as you saw, the top gun, as you saw, bog standard in the back. Fucking weird fucking cargo bay. Drinks and bogs, 4 beds. And 4 in here. I actually didn't realize there was 4 in here. I thought there was only 2 in the standard Freelancer, but there you go. So these ships do have plenty of room to bring your mates at the very least. I'm not too sure about the actual cargo bays on the standard ones. When I owned these ships, I didn't have any ground vehicles at the time. It wasn't until I long got rid of them that I actually ended up with ground vehicles, so I never actually bothered to test how much you could try and shove into the back of one of these. I might actually rent one and just see later on. Now, it goes without saying that I'm fairly certain you can just shove most things in the back of this. It's quite tall. I mean, they're all quite tall, really. The only thing I would terribly be concerned about is these two... I'm not even sure what you'd call them. Rails? Struts? Some of the taller things, like maybe the Cyclone MT, I think it is. The one with the missiles and the gun. That might stick up a bit too high. The ROC-DS might stick up a bit high. But other than that, like the standard rock you can put in here. I don't doubt that you could shove a standard Cyclone, maybe 2 in here if you were a bit aggressive about your parking. Aggressive being the key word. As for the normal one, though, or normal and the rest, I'm really not sure. They're quite skinny. You could get a bike in the back of them easy, like Ranger, Dragonfly, Nox. You could get any of them in there easy. But I mean, it's probably worth noting that these ships are not supposed to really be used to carry vehicles. They are cargo ships. So, any vehicles you can get in them is probably, you know, a bonus. They're definitely not designed to haul vehicles.
We'll have a guest during your visit so that we can all enjoy this day together.
Moving right along, we have our entry-level miner. For years, the Prospector has been the universe's preferred mining vessel for solo operators, featuring MISC's sleek design sensibility, and a bevy of upgraded high-tech mining tools. The 2947 Prospector perfectly balances form and functionality. So these are all pods or bags. They're definitely bags. They're all bags. Anybody who calls that a pod is lying to you. So it looks similar to the Freelancers. Everything MISC makes looks kind of similar to the Freelancers. They all have that sort of penis look to them, I suppose. Can I get in it though? That's going to be the real question. Ah. So this is absolutely a one-man vessel. Components, bed. That's the loo. Toilet access. Drinks. Only drinks. And cockpit. Now this cockpit is fantastic for miners. I complain a lot about a lot of the different cockpits in this game, but this cockpit is amazing. And it also really sort of emphasizes this drop-down HUD that are in a lot of MISC's vehicles. Like, because it drops down from above and you're mining, you know, usually facing down, it doesn't block anything. So you get a good view of everything. I believe those 6 sort of circular looking things, I believe they're all lights. But yeah, it's a really cool ship. I like this ship. It's got a VTOL mode, so you can just sit there and hover. It's Not that I think the VTOL will do anything, but I just turned it off, so this is going to be funny to walk outside and see. Actually, it probably won't do anything, now that I think about it. I do have noticed, though, throughout my whole time of this owning and using this ship, this pilot's door tends to be janky. Sometimes it locks you in and it's not nice. Sometimes the ship just doesn't want to let you go. A lot of the doors in this ship are janky just because it's so tight. Yeah, it's... I have had a lot of issues in this ship. I'll just throw that out there right now. I love the ship. But, yeah, they're all floodlights. Warning, laser. Mining laser. Up close. That extends out. Not that I can really get a good look in there, but yeah. The mining laser extends out. It's quite nice. I really do enjoy this ship. I suppose we'll get to the elephant in the room after we do the races.
Please be mindful of other
So these are the MISC's races.
all enjoy this day together.
The MISC Razor EX Stealth, outfitted with signature reducing materials, the EX was especially built for the UAE advocacy for use in surveillance and extraction operations, although the EX was ultimately rejected for widespread use. MISC released a variation of the model for the public who were looking to keep a lower profile. So if you're looking to go from A to B in the dodgy manner, or if you are a dodgy individual, this is your boy. This one's got fucking labels all over it, so no prizes. A luxury one, apparently. The Razor gets supercharged. The LX features an overclocked engine to unleash blazing top speeds. Power comes out at a cost with reduced maneuverability and armaments, making it ideal for a straight shot racing. But who needs weapons when you're leaving your competition in the dust? I don't know why they call it luxury. Look at the luxury of this tin can. I mean, I suppose it's kind of luxury. Kind of. Maybe. Anyway, as they say, it's for straight line racing. Kind of like the Nox. The Nox goes good in a straight line. Last but not least, pure racing. The Advanced Racer features an advanced composite space frame that puts pure speed ahead of everything else. It's the ship for pilots who want to leave the competition in the dust. Can I get in? So, unfortunately, the guts of this look identical to the Luxury. So, Luxury is a lie. Actually, I'm going to get in that other one, the Stealth one, because I want to really see if, you know, the quote-unquote luxury travels the whole way through. It certainly does look the same. Well, luxury my bollocks. Got about as much luxury as a fucking bag of Hershey's, you do. Alright, let's go to the elephant in the room. This fucking stonking big thing. Now, this gigantic piece of work certainly does look daunting at first. The big guns, fucking missiles on the front. Another big gun on top. Like, that is a fucking big gun. Just want to really hammer that home. But this is a refueler. The UAE military uses adapted rough and tumble variant of the Starfarer. Oh, this is the Gemini, not just the standard Starfarer. For their frontline operations, the G2M Gemini, more commonly the Starfarer Gemini, or Star G, trades some cargo capacity and maneuverability in exchange for reinforced armor, increased shielding, more powerful engines, and stronger versions of the 3-man turrets. So obviously the bog standard Starfarer comes with more inside guts and less guns. I don't think I've ever seen the standard Starfarer. I've only ever seen this one. And I got lost on it. First time I played. Turn my light on. So we've got a whole bunch of jump seats at the back. 1,000 in total. This is obviously cargo. All this, everything here. Okay, I don't even know where to start in this ship. This ship always fucking bamboozles me. Little window that looks down into cargo. This runs out to obviously all the fuel I was going to say fuel pumps. I don't even know if they're fuel pumps or fuel cells or what you would actually describe them as, but I don't even know if you can... No. So, yeah, these are all fuel, basically. There's a big fucking petrol truck. Upstairs, I believe these are all suit lockers. You're not going to tell me, are ya? No. I'm not actually sure what this is. Especially seeing as how there's more things here. I know it's not a fuel capsule of any sort. Escape pods. And you can see why it's easy to get lost in this ship. So, I believe components, maybe? There's access panels there, but I can't access them. I was wondering if I was going to the back of the ship. I'm like, this is a long fucking corridor. So, turret access. Oh god, it's an upside down one. So yeah, if you're in this turret, don't eat breakfast. Or the one on the other side, because there is one on the other side. There's one over there as well. So that's pretty much all these are. They're just mounts for the pods, the fuel pods, and access to the turrets. I would wager that these have some sort of components in them, but what exactly, I couldn't tell you. I believe the ship is symmetrical. I don't even know what this is. Not sure what this is. Another panel that doesn't work. Although this is blocked off. So obviously whatever is in here is the poor bastard that may or may not suffer mortal wounding if something goes horribly, horribly wrong. Yeah, so the ship's symmetrical in that. There's more access panels there. Guns up the back, a little window here so you can... I don't even know why there's a window here, because you can't actually see down there where the the platform is that people operate on. So I'm not really all too sure why exactly you would have a window that sort of looks directly across to the other side. Or what looks like components. Or maybe that's the same component. No, that's more. It's, yeah. So you can absolutely see why it's easy to get lost in here. I just really want to hammer that home. Everything looks the fucking same, no matter where you go. So that's very clearly another turret. This is a hole, a room with a hole in it. With a complimentary elevator that has no fucking rails on it. Oh, H&S, eat your heart out. Found a seat. Oh shit, I found beds. So here's where you're sleeping, lads. Hope none of your mates fucking snore. You don't even get bunks that's just lined out. What else is in here? I have no earthly idea. Because I definitely don't want to call that a locker. Or that. Or that with the fucking tank gauges on it. Oh, we actually have a male and a female in this one. Fantastic. That's a step up from earlier where we had 2 males. Unfortunately, though, you can't open them, so that's bad luck. Those look more like lockers to me. This is just a washroom, I guess. Ah, kitchen. I should just hire this ship and turn the fucking lights on so I can see. So we have a kitchen. No tables though. We have whatever that is. This has that fucking nasty shiny interior like the Argo ships. Although I suppose this is a military refueler, so... this looks like a captain's room. Oh, God. Captain's room, indeed. Well, I'm just going to pretend I didn't see that. Captain's room with no chairs. Captain's bogs with no door, so when you come in to have an Arvo meeting with your captain, if he's just taking a big shit, yeah, unfortunately it's going to be all on for everybody who walks in. That's back downstairs. That's back into crew quarters. So yeah, that's about it. That's all I've got for this ship. Didn't I pull that lift up, or was that a different lift? Must have been a different lift. Down. What do we got? Living quarters. That away. What do we got through here? More seedy pipes. See, now I have absolutely no idea which direction in the ship I'm facing. Actually, I might now. This should go down to the cargo bay. Yes. So this, more escape pods, cockpit, or flight deck rather. So I'm not actually sure what all these seats are for, because I thought most of the fuel stuff is controlled from outside. I'm not sure if they might be, no, they can't be remote turrets. On. Definitely not remote turrets. I have no idea what those are. They look like they're fuel something to do with the fuel, but what exactly? They might be drone control, actually. Because I believe the ship refuels via drones. So, command chair. The captain doesn't actually fly the ship. The captain sits here and pretends he's important. Pushes buttons. Another vital point of interest is, once again, we have a pilot seat and a co-pilot seat that has no stick, but still has the fucking pedals. Oh, sort of. Maybe still has the pedals. So yeah, that's a bit of concern, but what do you do, I suppose? Not too sure how comfortable I am with all these fucking readings everywhere. Hey, blue. Walkway. Just overlooking the cargo space. Airlocks. And back outside to the fuel tanks. This ship is fucking confusing. I hate this ship. If I had to actually be on this ship, I would cry. I was considering not getting this one exactly. I was considering getting the regular Starfarer, not the military one. But every time I get on this ship, I just want to kill myself, so... whether or not I will actually end up getting one of these, yeah, it's probably pretty slim. Because this ship just makes me hate my entire existence. Ah. That, and I once again have absolutely no fucking clue how to get down. It's this way. I think it just circles around. Because that's the big issue I have with this ship, is that everything fucking circles. The whole ship is just circles. It's another airlock. I think they're side airlocks, these ones. So yeah, this ship does my fucking head in. And I hate it. And no doubt the normal Starfarer, even though I've never seen it before, no doubt it will be exactly the same as this horrible, horrible, horrible thing. Alright, so let's go downstairs. Let's finish off, shall we? Probably been a pretty short stream, this one, actually. I didn't expect... I was expecting that Starfarer to take me a lot longer, because, like I said, I tend to get lost on it. I think there was something over here. No? Just the, yeah. So if I go that way, I should come to the hulls first. I believe one of the hulls is set to launch soon. Which one's this one? That one looks like a C. Often called the most common ship in the galaxy, the Hull C is the most produced of the range and is considered by many to be the most versatile. Intended to hit the sweet spot between the smaller single-person transports and the massive super freighters that make up the rest of the range, the Hull C offers the expansive modularity of the larger ships, while still retaining a modicum of the maneuverability allowed of the... what? While still retaining a modicum of the maneuverability allowed the low-end... Is that just me, or does that not make sense? I don't think English works that way. So, yeah, this is the middle of the range, obviously. those are all cargo containers sticking out of the spine of the ship. But that's the middle one. Now we should have a hull A here, I think. Yes. So here's the small boy. Or the smallest boy. Can I look at that one without having an NPC in front of me? I can. Wow! The smallest, most affordable hull. The Hull A is great for those just striking out in the galaxy on their own. The Hull A is most similar to the Aurora and Mustang, but lacks the jack-of-all-trades nature. Where the others trade cargo capacity for firepower or speed, the Hull A is 100% on mission transport, as you can obviously see. So that is actually very baby. If you look at the size comparisons between the Hull A and the Hull C, obviously the Hull A is inflated here because why not? The Hull A is substantially smaller than the Hull C. But this is the baby. If you care only for transport, well, I suppose this is your starter ship of choice. I think the Hull A is actually quite cheap. I'm not actually sure. I wonder. Let's have a quick goosey. I should be able to buy them today, so... let's have a look, let's have a look. Standalone ships. I'm pretty sure you should be able to pre-order them today. I think everything else is up. I thought it was around this price. I thought. That was close. 88. So yeah, I mean, I suppose that sort of floats as a starter ship. Still in concept though, so... But, as I said, if you just care about doing cargo runs, well... Or if you're getting started out and, you know, you're joining a group of friends who's only doing cargo stuff, well, that could work as well. Okay, so this is the Endeavour science ship. This is the frame of the science ship. I want to really hammer that one home as well. Those locks there are actually where there's 4 of them, 2 on each side. They're actually where you lock in extra modules. I'm not actually sure. I should be able to have a look at what modules you can shove on the sides of it, because that should be in the store as well. I know all up, it costs a hell of a lot, but the basic ship I don't think is all that much. It's when you shove all the stuff on it that it gets expensive. But I mean, the ship on its own is pointless anyway, so... Where are you? Where are you? I've got this listed by price, so God only knows. Go away, NPC, I see you there. That's... Am I looking at the wrong fucking thing? I've got to be looking at the wrong thing. Nope, I'm looking at the right thing. Okay. So the Endeavour on its own is $300. Well, no, sorry. I shouldn't say that. It's $385. Except I can't find the pods for it. Maybe it's actually on there if I have a look at more info. Because they usually sell it with all the pods. As a option. Nope. If shit. Endeavour only today. Sorry, lads. That's not even an image of the Endeavour, I don't think. That picture actually looks like the Odyssey on their website. That's why it threw me off. Anyway, Musashi Industrial and Starflight Concern is proud to present the Endeavour-class research vessel, fully modular space platform designed to be adapted for a variety of scientific and medical tasks. Initially developed as a floating lab, the MISC Endeavour can be... Get your fucking head out of the way. Can be outfitted for everything from spatial telepathy to use as a mobile hospital. So yeah, basically that's what the pods are. Depending on what pods you've got shoved on there is what you can do with the ship. As I said, it's very odd that they don't actually sell it with the pods this year. But last year I saw them, they were selling it with all the pods. Just like one of each 4 different kinds of pod. And last but not least, this is why we're all here today, apparently. The Odyssey. Survey distant frontiers and explore the furthest reaches of space with the MISC Odyssey, the most advanced and complete exploration ship available to civilians. Designed to be supremely self-sufficient, the Odyssey comes with an onboard refinery with built-in mining tech, expansive capacity for supplies, and hangar capable of housing a small ship, along with comprehensive, comfortable accommodations for a crew of 7. So, the big argument at the moment is, does this absolutely and utterly replace the Carrack? Frankly, I don't think it does. They played both a similar role, from what I understand. As I said, the ship is still in concept, so what I understand is conceptual. I know what it's supposed to do, I know what it's supposed to be, but what it ends up being is completely questionable. Now, I don't know what size mining laser that is. I would imagine it's the same size because it is a capital class ship. I would imagine that it's the same size as is on the Orion, which is the industrial mining ship. It doesn't tell me when I look into it, it just says it has a mining laser. So it could be a size 2 as is on the fucking mole for all I know. I don't know. It has significantly less guns than the Carrack. I want to really, really hammer that one home. It does have missiles. Not sure if you can actually see them on this model. I think that... Is that them? No, I don't know what the fuck that is. Anyway, it does have missiles. It has a small number of missiles, where the Carrack doesn't. But as far as actual firepower goes, yeah, this thing is nothing compared to the Carrack. I believe it has 3 of these double mounts. Whereas the Carrack has like 5, I think. What else have we got here? It has capital size system mods. Or system equipment, I should say. Whereas the Carrack only has large. I don't think the Carrack can fit capital size system equipment. It has I would imagine it's far less radar. I'm not exactly sure, like the radar strength, how it works exactly. But the Carrack carries 2, whereas this only carries 1. And we haven't been told what size or how many quantum fuel tanks this thing has yet. So how far it can jump is still in question. It also has less standard fuel. So what that actually means for anybody is beyond me. Would I call it direct, like replacing the Carrack? Fuck no. As it stands, fuck no. Why? Well, the simple fact that when you're talking about exploration ships, the Carrack, you know, having a large amount of radar systems. I mean, that's pretty important. The other thing that interests me, maybe that is it, but I'm having a very hard time sort of trying to find landing gear on this thing. I mean, I think, actually those look like missile hard points, those ones. I'm finding it very hard to find landing gear on this thing. I see that, which looks like something that would be landing gear. Yeah, it may be able to refuel itself, but I mean, where do those resources come from? It just doesn't fucking magic them up out of thin air. You would have to find something to make those resources. I assume that's the point of the mining laser. And I would also run under the assumption that, you know, on name alone, quantum fuel is sourced from quantanium, which is highly volatile, which means if I imagine that stuff that's mined does not go straight into processing, like there'd have to be a middleman or a middle stage that says, yes, I want to process this. So, I mean, if somebody's, you know, snoring, they fall asleep at their keyboard, it doesn't take much quantanium to blow up a ship. Or, so, I don't know. The whole concept of being self-sustaining is difficult in a game like this, because usually it's not quite as straightforward in Star Citizen. Like, they're quite good at finding that means to balance things. And I would very strongly suggest that this ship would probably spend more time harvesting its own resources than it probably would doing exploring on its own. The lower radar settings means the less radar equipment that it's got also means that it would be like it's got half the radar of the Carrack. Let's just throw that out there, like, straight up. It's got half the radar of the Carrack. So that says something to me straight away when you're calling it an exploration ship. Self-sustaining, to me, with a single mining laser, I mean... And it also comes down to how much can it actually process at once. I mean, if you run out of fuel, for example, just because you find something, you know, how long is it going to take to actually recover the resources it needs to move on? You know, if you actually are one of those people who like to take that gamble, and this is, I assume this is a capital-sized ship, so, you know, the odds of somebody being able to come out with a tow truck or a refueler is very, very slim. Being a capital ship, you know, it's not a Vulcan that's going to be coming out. It's going to be one of those fucking Starfarers that's going to have to come out and refuel you if you get stuck. And, you know, you're talking... People don't keep those Starfarers full of fuel. I mean, you'd only fill up what you need. So you're going to have to wait for them to fill up, which could take God only knows how long. Then they've got to try and get out to you, which, depending on how far into the whoop-whoop you are, fuck knows how long that's going to take them. I mean, I think people are very much overblowing this ship, because they're like, this ship does everything, it's self-sustaining, you can look after yourself. Well, yeah, you can probably look after yourself to a point. Like, what happens if you're out exploring and somebody else has decided, you know, somebody else has beat you to the punch, like somebody else has beat you to the area? I would wager this thing can only really mine asteroids well. Like, you're not going to be fucking on planet side trying to harvest those little boulders with this thing. Assuming it even can, I might just blow them up outright like regular mining ships do to the little crystal rocks. I mean, what happens if you rock up, you're on the absolute red line, you know, the ship's everything on E and the next asteroid belt is your saving grace. You fucking show up there and there's an Orion there just slorping the whole belt. That Orion's not going to stop for you, you're going to be paying them. Like, yeah, you can have a rock. 100,000 credits, please. Or whatever. I mean, if they're mining Quantanium especially. I mean, I can assure you that an Orion's not going to give up a asteroid with Quantanium in it cheaply. Like, you... I don't know how much they plan to actually be able to pull out of those sorts of asteroids, like those big fucking massive ones, that the Orion will be florping up, but, you know, you're probably looking at handing over $1 million minimum for one rock. I think people are overhyping this ship. That's my personal opinion. Do I think it's a bad ship? Not at all. Do I think it is comparable to a Carrack? Absolutely not. I believe that the Carrack will do its job far, far better than this thing will. To me, this ship right here is one of the ships that just goes out into the middle of fucking nowhere. Just because you can. You know, this ship is for those people who, you know, have a motorhome and they just drive around places. It's like, yep, this is a nice place to pull up for the day. You know, and they park out in the middle of the fucking forest or something. That's what this ship's for. There's a $700 ship for that. But yeah, like, it didn't take long for me today when I was setting up my stream. The first thing I saw when I opened up YouTube was someone doing a review, I don't know how, on this ship. And at the end of it, it was like, melt your carrot, question mark? I mean, no, fucking don't do that. That's dumb. Especially since this thing is still in concept. Like, what are you gonna do if you get less fucking quantum fuel out of this thing? Like, this thing is literally dependent upon its ability to recover its own resources. What are you gonna do then? How far are you gonna get in this thing? You'd be stopping every fucking 5 minutes to fill it up. And they say it can be piloted by a single individual. Well, that's, you know, fair enough. That's cool. But then that also brings into the question of, if you do need to recover Quantanium for quantum fuel, what's the gap between you harvesting Quantanium and that Quantanium being refined before it blows up? If you're doing it yourself. Like, do you really want to risk your capital ship on that? I mean, that's not a gamble I would take personally, but that's me. At the moment, I think everybody's overblowing this ship. The ship has a place for some people, don't get me wrong. I fully admit that there's probably people who just, as I say, want to do the motorhome thing. Cool. Do I think it's a direct competitor for a Carrack? Not a fucking chance in hell. To call it an fucking explorer is probably a rough. I mean, yeah, you could joint explore. I mean, that sounds reasonable. It just... At the moment, I think people are overblowing this because on paper, it sounds really, really good. Which it does. I'm not even going to try and deny that. On paper, this ship sounds amazing. But do I believe it's going to be everything it's cracked up to be? Well, no, I think the current expectation of this ship is going to unfortunately have to come down a few rungs. I mean, look at it. That's a lot of engines. And if it's got less fuel than the Carrack, that thing is just going to be chomping fuel. And I can assure anybody from mining that most mining ships in the game don't have a lot of regular fuel. So, as I said, we haven't actually got its quantum fuel tank storage sorted out yet. I mean, what happens if this is kind of the other way? What happens if it's got a fair bit of fuel, but it's got no quantum? Like, you got to make one jump, and then you'll have to, you know, one or two jumps, I should say, and then you'll have to sort of settle down for a bit. Like, you don't know any of this stuff. Getting overeager in a ship like this can end up stranded somewhere, and in a ship like this, as I said before, there's not going to be a lot of people that can come and help you. And depending on where you are, there may not be a lot of people who literally can help you. So, yeah. Don't get overeager. Major exploration is your thing. I would certainly just say stick to the Carrack. If you are absolutely hell-bent on going out and doing your own thing forever and a day, and you don't give an absolute damn about coming back planetside, here is your boy. But yeah, that's my 5 cents, so... And as I said, I can only make my judgments on the basis of what I know about the ship. And that's all I know about the ship. I've had a look at it, I've compared what they've given us to the Carrack, and yeah, that's it. I can do no more. Just don't run out of fuel, or you'll be waiting for one of these things to come out and save you.
Please remember to stay hydrated while exploring the exhibits on display. For your convenience, a selection of beverages and tasty snacks are
And
available.
if you've ever actually stopped and waited for a fuel truck to actually load or unload at a service station, you'll know just how long it takes for these things to A, fill up, and then B, unload. It's not a quick process. So that, however, ladies and gents, is MISC Day, Musashi Industrial.
Microtech Protection Services are asking all guests
So I hope that was exciting.
comes to see. If you see anything of concern,
One more day of
alert the member of staff.
Star Citizen, and then we return to our regularly scheduled program. So I hope it's been fun. I'm just showing off ships, giving my little opinions as I go. First time I've kind of done a commentary like this, so I don't know how good or crap it was. Those escape pods must fucking yeet out the top.
An Expo Center is a shared space. Please be mindful of other guests during your visit so
But,
that we can all enjoy this day together.
Tomorrow is it. Tomorrow is the best in show. So the little boy that could will be here. The little small boy. And he's going to get a blue and white paint job by the looks of it. Or white and blue. White with blue highlights, which is good because I really, really hate the orange. I hate the Argo orange. It's horrible.
Did you discover
Which
the
is kind of
fact
funny
that
because
this
orange is
is
my
IAE?
favorite color, but
Then why not experience it firsthand
yeah,
with
Argo
Prospector?
uses the orange
Many
very
of the
indiscriminately.
units on display at this year's IAE are available to rent from one of our local providers.
So yeah, thank you all for coming for today. Shorter than expected because I wasn't expecting to get us straight through this Starfarer as I did. But nevertheless, I hope it was exciting. Tomorrow, as I said, I will be doing the small boy and the winners, or the runners-up, I should say, to the small boy. After that, though, I don't know what I'll be doing. I might, because it's obviously going to be a short stream tomorrow. But what I do, I'm not sure. I may play something afterwards. Might schedule something for later in my day. Not sure. Either way, I hope to see you tune in. If Star Citizen does tickle your fancy for one reason or another, when you make an account, sign up with the referral code in the description. That will give you 5,000 credits to spend in-game, and you shall also receive the small boy, the MPUV cargo.
Ready to learn more about the manufacturers and ships on display?
I
The all-new
think the minimum is $45, but the starter packs are 50 at entry point, so that should be quite easy to obtain. Yeah, that's it. If you enjoy the content, please subscribe, and I hope to see you next time.